A Look at Seniors is underwritten by the generous support of Berkshire Bank. For over 165 years, Berkshire Bank has delivered excellent service and performance. Berkshire Bank, America's most exciting bank. With additional support from Judson Meadows, caring for you, and respite stays available too. And The Mortgage Place, offering low rates, a wide variety of programs, expert advice, and exceptional service.
Don't tell us who we are. We're not about ordinary, we're about extraordinary. We're not just about numbers and names. We're about individuals and knowing that no two customers are alike. We're not too small to help. We're not too big to know you. We're about big bank resources with small bank attention. Hey, we believe those important moments in your life should be exciting. Don't you? Life is exciting. Let us help. Berkshire Bank, America's most exciting bank.
I'm Tim Bartos, and I'm here at Judson Meadows, and I'm talking with Ruth about the importance of pet visits.
Pet visits are wonderful. It's one of the things that brings our residents the most joy. There's nothing like the unconditional love of a pet jumping up in someone's lap and bringing a smile to their face. It's fantastic.
And we love our pet visits and welcome them with open arms. Judson Meadows, an assisted living community, the art of aging well.
Well, welcome back, everyone. As you know, each week we've been doing a look at seniors, and it's really something, the response that we're getting. I've mentioned this to you before, that two words always seem to be at the center: dignity and independence. And we've been coming at those two words in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different issues. And one other one that just seems to crop up as of maybe a couple of weeks ago was really, what is the strategy and how well prepared are you for events that you might know are coming and you might not know are coming? So I want to welcome back Lois Celeste, who's the Executive Director of the Saratoga Senior Center. And to answer some legal questions this week that you've been asking us about is Matt Dorsey. He's an attorney in town that specializes in elder law. So welcome, Matt.
Thank you, Jesse.
Nice to see you again, Lois.
Thank you.
Let's delve right into this. You're on the forefront of this. You have the relationship with the seniors that come into the senior centers each week. And I remember you telling me that you were surprised by the number of legal questions. Isn't that correct? Is that right?
Absolutely. And we aren't attorneys. So
Right.
Our job is to provide the resources and connect people to the attorneys. We get calls all the time for, wills and healthcare proxies, those kind of things. So we're really lucky to have Matt as a resource and available to us. Again, it's that trusting relationship of them calling us because they trust. In addition, oftentimes people from all over feel senior centers are a resource.
Yes,
So
right.
even if we don't know them, they may call us for information. And again, we have a relationship with Matt via the Office for the Aging.
Right.
And he comes to our center once a month. And it's great to have this as a resource.
Sure. Now, as a specialist in elder law, she just mentioned the Office of the Aging. What's the relationship there, Matt?
We have a contract with the Office for the Aging. We provide legal services, generally counseling at local senior centers. I work at the Saratoga Springs Senior Center, but also go down to the Half Moon Senior Center and do some appointments also in Boston Spa at the Office for the Aging headquarters.
Right. Now, you identified before we went on air really 4 different primary categories that people are concerned with. They could be the children of the people aging, or they could be the aging person themselves. What are those categories again?
Well, oftentimes we have people who come for a number of different planning options that we can help them with.
Right.
One is a will, the second is a healthcare proxy, the third is a power of attorney, and then also potentially we might do a deed for them if they're interested in potentially transferring their house to a child or a friend or a relative.
Got you. Used a phrase that I thought was really the centerpiece of this, which was preserving and protecting someone's assets.
Well, yeah, the key thing that people want to talk about often is what can I do to preserve my assets in the event that I ever have to go into a nursing home? Because there's really 3 ways that you're going to pay for nursing home care. The first one is with your own resources. Second is with long-term care insurance. And the third is with Medicaid. And a lot of people want to talk about, well, what can I do to work with my assets today so that potentially I could qualify for something like Medicaid to pay for my nursing home care instead of having to use my own private resources.
You know, in some of the other conversations we've had, the word planning always comes up. And, you know, if you're fortunate enough to have the resources, well, then that's obvious what that is. But, you know, having long-term health insurance, a lot of people don't think of that until they're at an age where they have to pay a lot for that, right?
Right. Well, the problem with long-term care insurance, I think, is if you're, say, 70, 75, 80, number one, it may be very difficult to get because there are certain conditions that you might have which would just simply disqualify you. But even if you can get it, you may find that the cost is prohibitive, so you're looking for other options.
And you had mentioned something else that stuck in my mind was that there is, in trying to determine the value of someone's assets, that there is actually a look-back period. I've never heard that phrase before. What does that mean?
Well, look-back period is the 5-year period before potentially you would apply for Medicaid to pay for a nursing home. And if you do any transfers during that time period, you may be subject to a penalty for having made that transfer. So it's a good hard and fast rule that if you transfer anything out of your name more than 5 years before you apply for Medicaid for a nursing home stay, you know that that transfer is something that won't be held against you when it comes to determining your eligibility.
Right, and I bet you see it all, right?
Yeah.
You see people that are prepared for it, you see people that are asking questions, and you see the people that are just like, uh-oh, right?
I think it goes back to the planning again.
Yeah, it does.
And
That's right.
you know, whether it's our resource, our senior support services, our advocate who sees it when people are asking about housing, maybe what's our next step, where are we going? Oftentimes, you know, or maybe are even going into the hospital just for a replacement surgery, whatever. You know, are these pieces in place? Have they planned properly? What can we do to connect them with the right resource?
Well, you know, the tendency there, and I think it's kind of human nature. I feel fine. There's nothing wrong. I don't need to deal with this today. And then it could be a catastrophic event. It could be a car accident. You know, you hate to talk about it that way, but that's really the reality of life. You know, so it isn't just always the obvious that, hey, I'm getting old and I think I need to address this. Correct?
And absolutely. And the one thing I want to get out there is that this service that Matt provides at the center is free.
Wow.
It's free to seniors. So no reason not to give a call or stop in if you haven't done these things yet.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's wonderful. What interests you in this?
Oh, I've been practicing law in Saratoga Springs for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And it's an area that I always was very interested in. Before focusing in this area, I've done work in real estate, contracts, labor and employment, business law.
Oh, I bet that helps a lot.
It gives me a good grounding to handle the elder law issues as well. But I found over time this is just the area that I enjoy the most.
Well, you know what? And if I'm doing the math correctly, you're second or third generation. Dorsey's a pretty popular name in the area of law, right?
Yeah, my father was an attorney, and before him, his father. So we've been providing legal services in Saratoga Springs for, I think, over 90 years.
Oh, my God. And I guess really, if we want the viewers to know anything, it's really plan. You know, if you're less fortunate and it's the Medicaid option is the one, remember that there are limitations on the nursing homes, right? You know, I think the element of surprise is the thing you're trying to put aside, right?
Absolutely.
You're trying to say, plan, strategize, go to you for expert help, go to you for advice. You're the trusted one-on-one with so many people in the community, and prepare.
And get out in front of it.
Yeah, get out in front of it. That's true. Well, Matt, thank you very much for coming in. It's a real
my
pleasure to
pleasure.
meet you. And Lois, I'll see you next week.
Sounds good, Jesse. Thank you.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.